Hey there guys, welcome to The Ladder. My name's Chris, I'm going to be your host for this evening. Anybody else terrified or is it just me? Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be, oh I know right, we're going to be a new game show, hopefully coming to you every Friday on YouTube, because why not? We're in lockdown, we've got nothing else to do. Hey there guys. This is what I chose to do. I say me, I'm lying. We are, well, we're a quiz show, we do multiple questions, multiple rounds. 5 rounds, the final round being the actual ladder. We'll describe each round, if I remember, at the start of every round. We are going to introduce the contestants for the first ever show. So, shall we? Technicals. Don't I look good? Okay, so hopefully, first of all, we're going to have Abbie. Oh my days, there she is, looking fancy. So this is Abbie, she's 18 and she's from Kent. She works for Costa Coffee and she's applied to university in London to eventually become a vet. On the other hand, she's got 3 cats and a dog so she can practice at home. And she loves music and live shows, don't we all? And she also enjoys spending time at home with the family. But during the lockdown, I don't know how true that is. Remains to be seen. But there's Abbie. Thank you, Abbie. On to contestant number 2. Tony. Tony's 47 years young. She's ex-RAF, so don't mess with her. She's originally from Derbyshire. She now lives in Telford, Shropshire. She now works as a teaching assistant and has 2 children aged 14 and 16. She loves travelling, history documentaries, collecting postcards and autographs, going to the cinema, genealogy, and watching NCIS starring Mark Harmon. We all love a bit of Mark Harmon. And that's Tony. On to contestants 3. So this one's a team. We have Vicky and Paul from Newton Abbot. Hey there, guys. So Vicky is 31 years old. She's a part-time working mum, and they've both got 2 sons. Paul is 43. He's a Liverpool supporter. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Tell us in the comments. I don't do football. And he also likes to party. So do we. On to the next one then, we have Ian. I love that picture, Ian, so much. He's from Chesterfield, works in the motor trade. He's married to the Fun Sponge. The Fun Sponge. You have to tell us, Ian, is that her actual name? And they have 2 teenagers. They also have 2 dogs. He loves his family, his dogs, cars and motorcycles. Welcome to Ian. And finally, joining us in the first ever episode, we have Chris. She's 55 years young, from Darlington. There she is. She's a massive fan of cooking. She loves to be outdoors with her dog, a Chihuahua named Princess. Chihuahuas are all named Princess. I love it. Her biggest achievement is meeting Gordon Ramsay while on holiday. Gordon Ramsay? I'd be alright with that. So those are our contestants. Okay, sadly, we've just received word that unfortunately Tony has had to drop out last minute. We all hope that she's okay and we all wish her the best. And hopefully she can join us again on a future episode. But thank you so much for offering to be part of our first ever show, Tony. And look after yourself, sweetheart. We'll see you again soon. So, without further ado, I think we are ready for round 1. So, round 1 is called specifically General Knowledge. I did not make the names of these up. Don't blame me. So, it's a round of 10 questions. It's all about general knowledge. Contestants, you've got your keypads. You press the relevant letter to answer the question. And if we're ready, let's go on for question 1. You need to make the bios go away, please. Thank you. Question 1. How many kings of England have been named Edward? Is it A, 9, B, 5, C, 7 or D, 4? Either way, it's a lot of Edwards, isn't it? Make sure you press the relevant letter on your keypads there, guys. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, are we excited? 2, 1. There we go. Oh, Christy. Guys. Come on. Nobody got that one right. Should we see what the right one answer was? It's A9. That's a hell of a lot of Edwards. Like, there's multiple names, there's books and things. Oh, come on. Unfortunately, no points awarded in that first one. So let's get on to question number 2. Here we go again. In which year was the Berlin Wall built? Was it A, 1965, B, 1946, C, 1958, or D, 1961? Press those answers, guys. Come on, Ian and Abbie. I know you know this. Stop Googling it on your phones. I know what you're doing. And just so everybody knows, Ian has named himself Curly. Curly. Oh, Vicky and Curly. But well done to Abbie and Chris, because it is in fact D, 1961. Like, who would have thought it had been built so late? Not me. Don't forget, contestants, you can talk to me at the same time. Gives me something to do apart from drink this delightful rum I have here. So if we're ready, next question then. We've got question 3. Lake Erie is the lowest point on which continent? Is it A, North America, B, Europe, C, Australia, or D, the Antarctic? Lake Erie. Pretty sure that's how you say it. What do I know? Well done, Vicky and Paul, getting in that. Abbie. No pressure. 4. There you go, well done. 4 seconds to go. All multiple answers, what do we think? And Abbie, well done. Isn't Google amazing? And look, just like that, guys, it is in Australia. I didn't know that either. I'm getting myself an education. Might get myself a GCSE. On to question 4 then. What kind of star is our sun? Is it A, brown dwarf, B, white dwarf, C, red giant, or D, yellow dwarf? I don't know about anybody else, but I'm disappointed not to see red dwarf. And Curly. There he is. Let's have a look at your answers. Oh, guys, well done, Chris, because it is in fact D, yellow dwarf. I don't know what to say. It's the sun, it's a star, all the same things. Moving on then, we've got question 5. What can't a giraffe do? A, sleep, B, hear, C, cough, or D, run? What can't a giraffe do? Now see, if I couldn't sleep, well, I'd be more grouchy than I am now, wouldn't I? Here comes Abbie, Chris, Vicky, and Curly, whenever you're ready. Very good. Let's have a look at your answers. Oh, well done. Chris, what are you thinking? Chris, giraffes have ears. They can hear. And you're right. Well done to the rest of you. It is C, cough, probably due to the lengths of their necks. I mean, imagine trying to cough a hairball out of that. We're doing very well, guys. Let's move on. Question 6. In which year was the first successful channel crossing by an airplane? Was it A, 1903, B, 1913, C, 1897, or D, 1909? Going way back. Oh, that's it, guys. Abbie? I know, I don't know either, Abbie. I don't know either. Oh, bad luck, Abbie. You didn't get your answer in time. Unfortunately, none of you got that question right, so we see what it was. It was in fact D, 1909. Just in case you didn't know, it would never have been C, 1897, because planes weren't even invented then, if I actually remember right. I think they were actually invented in 1903 by the Wright brothers. Random pointless information brought to you on YouTube. And alcohol. Next question. Question 7. In which city is the world-famous Sears Tower skyscraper located? Is it A, New York, B, Chicago, C, Detroit, or D, Boston? Sears Tower. Allegedly it's famous. I didn't make these questions up. I'll blame the guy behind the camera. That's it, Chris and Vicky, Curly and Abbie. Hey, welcome back, Abbie. Got 2 seconds, Curly. 1. You're timed out. Sorry, Curly. We've got A and B. Way. So we've got 2 right answers. We've got Chris and Vicky. Because it is in fact B, Chicago. As in, bitch, I'm from Chicago. If you know, you know. On we go then. Question 8. So on the Mohs scale, the hardest substance is diamond. What's the softest? Is it A, sugar, B, skin dust, gross, C, wheat flour, or D, talcum powder? Which of those is the softest? Skin dust is gross. That's it, we're just waiting for Abbie's answer now. You get timed out. Oh, well done, Abbie. You got your answer in at the last second. So we've got 2 right answers. Because it is D, talcum powder. Who'd have thunk it? I didn't even know talcum powder registered on these kind of scales. Just goes to show. On to question 9 then. How many pennies were there in a pre-decimal pound? Was it A, 140, B, 240, C, 200, or D, 100? In a pre-decimal pound. I don't know what that means. I'll have to have a Google myself, won't I? Good man, Curly. Abbie and Vicky. Answers are raining in. Come on, Chris. Oh, Chris, did you... Oh, bad luck, Chris. Sorry about that, darling. Oh, well done to Abbie and Vicky. Bad luck, Curly, because it is in fact B, 240. Numbers, maths, not my thing. Moving swiftly on. Final question of the round then. It's question 10. So after this, we get to see everybody's scores. How often does Air Force One undergo a complete overhaul or D-check? Is it A, every 254 days, B, every 154 days, C, every 354 days, or D, every 54 days? Obviously, Air Force One being the plane that the President of the United States flies on. The less we talk about him, the better. Your Google needs to be quicker, Abbie. There you go. Oh, bad luck, Abbie. No? Nobody wanted to get that one right. Let's have a look. It is every 154 days. I mean, me personally, I would think they'd probably want to look at that, but not my problem. So, that's the end of the first round. We're about to double check. Oh, we're about to have a look at the scores, shall we? Oh, look, technical stuff. Okay, bear with me, guys. First time doing this. Let's have a look. Ah, there we go. So, Vicky and Paul, we've got no scores registered. Bear with us. Coming at you live from the living room in Torquay. We don't know what we're doing. I don't know what's going on with those scores. We will work with it. But originally what would happen if there were 5 players, the scores would somehow work. Don't ask me, I'm not the technical person. And we would lose a player at this point. But obviously, because there's only 4 players, we don't lose anybody at this point. So we're going to go on. Sorry about that. God help me. I shouldn't have signed the contract. Right, so we're getting ready. We're getting ready for round 2. It's called Getting Gritty with it. Once again, I didn't write these names. So we're going to see several grids come up, like 3 categories. The computer's going to pick one at random. We're going to answer questions on that. More categories, more questions, and so on. You're going to get it as we go on. So if we're ready, here comes the next question. Oh. painted this amazing artwork? A. Georges Seurat, B. Paul Signac, probably, C. Vincent van Gogh, or D. Jean Metzinger? So who painted this amazing artwork? Answers are all in. Let's have a look. Answers. And well done to Chris and Kelly / George. That painting is the Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte, in case you didn't know. So let's see what the next categories are. We've got milkshake, roads, or shopping. Fingers crossed for milkshake. We all love milkshake. Oh, it's gone for shopping. What supermarket is associated with Stockwell? Is it A. Morrison's, B. Asda, C. Spar, or D. Tesco? Once again, thank you very much to all the frontline workers at markets for keeping us going through this absolutely mad time. Just a few seconds left, guys. Get those answers in. Bad luck to Vicky and Paul. You didn't get your answer in time. You didn't have a right answer on that one. Let's see what it was. Was in fact Tesco. So Stockwell is part of the Tesco name, as in because it was originally called T.E. Stockwell. Who'd have known? Who'd have thought? Bear with us. Sorry, Abbie, I've just seen your message. I hope your buzzer's been working better for you now. Okay, on to your next question. Oh, categories. So we've got bones, film, or music. Shall we find out which one we're going to get? It's bones. So where in your body is your patella? Is it A, your neck, B, foot, C, elbow, D, knee? Come on, Chris, at least give me 2 seconds to get the question out. God. And Abbie's in. And so is Curly. Vicky and Paul, you still with us? Everyone's gone for D. Knee. That's because you are all right. Nice easy one for you. It's basically your kneecap, isn't it? So, moving on. So 3 rounds, we've got the, well, 3 categories: history, colour, or sport. Shall we find out what we get? Oh, it's colour. What is not a primary colour? So we've got A, blue, B, yellow, C, orange, or D, red. So what is not a primary colour? Oh, lots of quick answers on this. And everyone's gone for C. Because you're right, it's orange. Blue, yellow and red are primary colours. Orange is not. Nothing really more you can say about that, is there? There we go. Next categories, we've got volcano, world and drinks. I can't possibly imagine which one I want. Volcano. Where would you find the volcano named Krakatoa? A, China, B, India, C, Indonesia, or D, Malaysia? Krakatoa. I don't actually know this one. I'm looking forward to learning myself. Oh, here comes Chris. Your Googles need to work faster, guys. You're bad people. Oh, we've got to look at that. Chris and Vicky, Vicky and Paul, bad luck, guys. Abbie and Curly, well done. Who knew? Now we do. And on we go. Right then, guys, here's the scores. So we've got... So, basically, if you don't get your answer in time, it does minus off points. So this is why everyone is displaying as negative points at the moment. I did forget that, sorry. Once again, first time ever. But going in lead, we've got Vicky and Paul with -4, Curly/Ian with -5, Chris with -8, and Abbie with -8. So basically, Chris has just let us know that unfortunately she is going to have to leave. So Chris would have been, we'd have been playing a head-to-head basically between Chris and Abbie to work out who would have been going. But Chris has just said she's having to go. It's YouTube. What do you want? So unfortunately, we are going to have to say goodbye to Chris. Thank you very much for joining us. And Abbie, aren't you lucky? It means you get to stay with us and carry on for the next round. So we get to say goodbye to Chris. So Vicky, Curly and Abbie, you're joining us for the next round. Oh yeah. This round is called Interloper in the Interface. Once again, I did not make the names of these rounds up. Please don't send me letters. It's basically a fancy way of saying the odd one out. So, for example, earlier we just had a question about colours. So we had red, yellow, blue and orange. They're all colours, but orange is the odd one out because it's not a primary colour. We're going to have questions that are very similar to that. They're all going to have a common theme, and it's up to you guys to work out which one isn't. Doesn't belong. You're going to get it. So if we're all ready, let's move on. A, messy, B, naughty, C, topsy-turvy, or D, impossible. So, they're all characters from the Mr. Men world, but one of them is different for some reason. Which one is it? Excellent, we've got 3 answers. We've got D, B and D. And well done to Vicky and Paul, that's right. The right answer is naughty. So we've got Mr. Messy, Mr. Topsy-Turvy and Mr. Impossible, but it's Little Miss Naughty. You get it? You get it? It took me a while. But that's kind of what we're doing, you see? But well done to Vicky and Paul. Air high fives all round. On to your next question then. The Olympics. So we've got A, 1952, B, 2004, C, 2012 and D, 2008. So these are all years that the Olympics have been held in, but one is different for a reason. Tell me which one it is. No one's answering me. Does nobody know? Oh, come on then, Abbie. Enjoying that run there. Vicky and Curly. Excellent. What's everyone picked? You've all gone for A. Excellent. Anybody want to tell me why? No? So basically, all these years, like I said, are years that held the Olympics, but 1952 is different because it is the only year that has held the Summer and the Winter Olympics in the same year. Yeah. Nothing really more you can say about that. Next question. 1952, we knew that. Oh, excellent. Chocolate. So we've got A, flake, B, double decker, C, ripple, or D, whisper. They're all chocolate. I've eaten them all. A lot. But one's different. Why? Decker. By all means, message me and let me know why you thought it was double decker, because you all went for double decker, but it is actually C, ripple. And the reason that is because Ripple was made by Galaxy, whereas the rest were made by Cadbury's. Yeah, you're kicking yourselves now, aren't you? I know, I'm terrible. On to the next one now. Gaming, yes. So we've got A, Call of Duty, B, Fortnite, C, Minecraft, or D, Uncharted. These are obviously all games, but one is different. Please tell me why. Answers are in. We've got 2 D's and a C. Bad luck to Vicky and Paul. Paul, for some reason, I feel like this is your responsibility. How very dare you. Alright, let's have a look. Is D Uncharted? And that is because Uncharted is PlayStation exclusive, whereas the other 3 can be played multiple platforms, so like PC, Xbox, etc. You know. So yeah, but Uncharted can only be played on the PlayStation. Shall we move on? Flowers. A. Daffodil, B. Sweet pea, C. Sunflower, or D. Snapdragon. These are obviously all flowers. One is different. Tell me why. And here's Curly and Abbie. Let's have a look what you've all picked. C, B, and D. Guys, you're all wrong, unfortunately. It is in fact A, daffodil. So yes, these are all flowers. Daffodil grows from a bulb, whereas the other 3 grow from seeds. I didn't pick this question. I didn't want this question. Don't blame me, it's not my fault. You can make it my fault a little bit if you really want to. It's fine. So, moving on then. Capital cities. A. Brasilia, B. Brussels, C. Beirut, or D. Bridgetown. These are all capital cities. One is different. Why? Which one is it? You wait. You guys wait. Because it isn't going to be what you think it is. So B, D, and D. Nope. It is in fact Beirut. So Beirut is capital of Lebanon, whereas the other capital cities start with the same letter as their country. So we've got Brazil, Brasilia, Belgium, Brussels, Barbados, Bridgetown, Lebanon, Beirut. I know. Roast me in the comments, it's fine. It's not my fault. I refuse to claim responsibility. But if I am right, I think that should bring us to the end of that round. Shall we check out the scores? So in the lead with -3 points, we have Vicky and Paul. And in second place with -5 is Curly. And sadly, Abbie, that means we are losing you at this point, and we're very sorry about that. You made it so far, well done. We hope you've enjoyed yourself. But you never know, we might see you again in the future sometime. Could be you climbing that ladder for £50. You just don't know, do you? But thank you once again. Look after yourself and stay safe during this awful time. Alright? So, Vicky and Curly / Ian, congratulations guys, you made it onto the versus round. There better be a header for this. There it is. So versus round, guys, is basically a head-to-head thing. So am I right in saying this is where the buzzer part takes place? Tech guy, I'm looking at you. Excellent. So it's fastest. If you get it right, you get the point. If you don't get it right, your opponent will buzz in. Okay, so if we're ready, here comes your first question. Which movie came out first in 2019? Is it Fighting with My Family or Kid Who Would Be King? Somebody buzz in. Curly thinks it's A, Fighting with Family. Let's find out. No, bad luck. Vicky and Paul obviously went with B. So The Kid Who Would Be King released in January 2019, whereas Fight With My Family was February 2019. Bad luck, Curly. So close. So yeah, well done to Vicky and Paul. That point is yours. Next question. Which model of car sold the most in 2018? Was it the Honda Civic or the Volkswagen Polo? So Vicky and Paul thinks it's B. Let's have a look. No, bad luck, guys. And Curly goes A, obviously. Yep, Civic sold just over 800,000, whereas the Polo sold just under 600,000. Who wanted to know that much about cars? Definitely not me. Yeah, very well done to Curly. And here comes your next question. Which painting was created first? Which painting was created first? Have we got Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh or The Scream by Edward Munch? Very well done. It was indeed. Sunflowers was 1889, whereas The Scream was 1893. Very well done. Just bear with me 2 seconds. And on to your next question then. In United States dollars, which company recorded the highest market value in 2019? Was it A, Microsoft, or B, Apple? Which one made more money, honey? Curly's gone with A. It's not. So it's not A. It's not A, Vicky and Paul. What's it going to be? Wow, that was close, wasn't it? You gave me some issues there, guys. Deary me. But yeah, was in fact B, Apple. So Apple did, this is a lot of numbers, 961.3 million. And Microsoft did 946.5 million. Yeah, tech. Awesome. So on to our next question. Whom, as of 2019, has sold 231.9 million units. That's albums and singles excluding streaming. So is it Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson? You did it. Anybody want to guess? Curly's gone in with B. Yeah, over there. And well done, Curly. Yeah, it was. Michael Jackson sold 231.9 million, whereas Elvis Presley did 225 records. So we are moving on to our final question. So of course, after this question, we find out who is moving on to our final round of the ladder. Exciting stuff, because obviously don't forget they're playing for £50 in cold hard cash. Final question of this round, let's make it count. In the UK, how much tea would an average consumer use per year? Is it A, 2 kilograms or B, 5 kilograms? I know exactly how much tea I've drank. It's a lot more than that. Curly's gone with B. Unfortunately, it's not, Curly. Vicky and Paul. No. That's what Curly said. It's not. I had this before, let's have a look. It is in fact A, 2 kilograms. Now, the average consumer in the UK will use about 2 kilograms of tea over the course of a year. But if any of you guys are like me, we've been averaging 2 kilograms of tea an hour for the past month. But with that was the final question. So let's find out who moves on to that final round. And here's your scores. So we've got a tie. So we've got Vicky and Paul with -3, and Curly with -3. We got a tie. Did we prepare for the event of a tie? No, we didn't, because we're crap. Right. Bear with us, guys. We're going to work this one out. Feel free to talk. It is okay. There is a guy behind the camera. His name is Phil. He is amazing. He's been our tech guy throughout all of this. But obviously, it's literally the two of us coming live out of a living room in Torquay. We're all making it up as we go along. So we do apologise about the difficulties that we're having.
So you've mentioned it before.
Okay. Right. So, as we all know, I've been sat here slurping this rather delightful drink, like throughout this entire episode. So what we're going for is, you guys, the contestants, can speak to me in this chat, yeah? So we're all still part of this Facebook chat group. I'm getting all kinds of sign language, I don't know what he's saying. But the first person that can comment in the Facebook chat and tell me exactly what is in my glass, shows how much attention you're paying, is the person that moves on to the ladder. Because unfortunately we don't really seem to have anything else to set up for you. Does somebody type in, tell me what I'm drinking? I know, this is professional, isn't it? I knew this was going to happen. Anybody want to know? Oh. Yeah, well done, Vicky. It is rum and coke. So very well done to you, my darling. You and Paul move on to the ladder. I'm really sorry about that, Ian. We were not prepared for the event. We were not prepared for the event of a tie, but unfortunately this is what we've had to do to tie break it. Vicky and Paul were listening. They got it. So unfortunately that means we do have to say goodbye to you, but thank you so much for playing. God help me if this happens again next week. I will quit. But with that, we say goodbye to Ian. And Vicky and Paul, you're moving on to the final round. She says, as she's trying to make the tech work. It's not moving on. It's not moving on. It's not doing it. Technological difficulties once again. This is why I drank. Bear with us once again. I didn't want to do this job in the first place. Right. But by all means, we all hope that everyone's been enjoying themselves in this show so far. It has proved to be a little bit of a challenge, as you can see. But tell us in the comments, tell us on YouTube, tell us on Twitter, wherever you like. What have you been doing during the lockdown? You know, like some of you have been working, some of you haven't been. Like, talk to us, let us know what you've been up to. We might give you a little bit of a mention in the next show. Also coming up, hopefully next week, we're going to be bringing out daily live. Well, not live, hopefully, because this has gone so well. But we're going to be bringing you daily quizzes that you can just play for a little bit of fun. So that'll come out on Twitter, that'll come out on Facebook as well. Not too sure if it's coming out on YouTube, most likely is. But it's just a little bit of fun to do on the day-to-day. Just a little bit of fun, isn't it? You can talk to us a little bit about, well, you see Captain Tom Moore, or the money and stuff that he's raised for charity. If there's anybody that is interested that wants to share what they've been raising for charity as well. For example, me and Phil both contributed to the Download Festival fundraising, because obviously all the festivals and things have been cancelled due to the lockdown. So Download, as a result of that, released a charity t-shirt which raised money that went directly to the NHS. Of course, we are internally grateful for anybody from frontline workers, not just the NHS, who of course are doing fantastic work. Stuff like my own mum works for Rowcroft, so it's all their kind of care nurses as well. the cleaners, the shop workers, everybody. So all their work is very much appreciated. As is your patience during this. God help me. How are we getting on? We are getting there slowly but surely. Thank you very much. Right, so Vicky and Paul, we are so nearly there. God help me. And we're back. And if you're still with me, I would never drink sangria in a million years because I think it would kill me. But Vicky and Paul, I think we are finally ready to do the final round of the ladder, which, just to be funny, is called the ladder. So you're about to see 5 questions, and the answers to these questions are basically the rungs of your ladder. You're going to assemble your ladder, because the whole idea is to climb up to the top and win that £50 in cold hard cash. Questions are laid out, so we'll read them out. You'll get it as you pick it up. They're relatively easy, like to understand. So if we're ready, so Vicky and Paul, what do you think? Are you smart enough to climb the ladder? So Vicky and Paul, in a primary rainbow, what order do the colours appear in from red? So we've got A, violet, B, orange, C, green, D, yellow, E, indigo. So put those colours in orders. Use the letters on your buzzer pads. And no, Ian, sangria is not pop, because if it was pop, I wouldn't be drinking that either. Where Vicky and Paul, you have to get all 5 of these questions right to win that £50. And fingers crossed, because we would love nothing more than to give out the prize money on the very first ever episode. Just a few seconds left. Oh, guys. Unfortunately, guys, you did not get that one right. The actual answers were... So everybody heard of Richard of York gave battle in vain. So it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So sadly, that does mean, unfortunately, you didn't climb the ladder. That was literally rung 1 and nobody climbed it. That ladder toppled you, didn't it? But guys, you've been absolutely brilliant. You know, thank you very much for joining in and taking part. To all of our contestants, thank you so much for joining in and taking part. We can't appreciate the fact that you come and joined us on our first ever episode. Apologise once again for the few little difficulties that we've had, but it's YouTube, it's a bit of fun. What are you going to do? But if you think that you can come and take part in the ladder, hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We've got groups and things. And remember, the more people that are subscribed to us on YouTube means that eventually we can start actually increasing the prize money that we give out in the show. So without any further else, thank you very much to Phil for all of his technical help, and thank you very much once again, guys, for tuning in. And what do you think? Maybe next time could be you climbing the ladder. Good night.